All right, welcome one more time to the beatzillapdx official show news break. And this one right here is a doozy, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see on your screen. But before we get into the conversation at hand, if you could do me a favor and please hit the like button, which is that thumbs up. Also, share this out on your social media if you would, greatly appreciate it. Also, if you have not already done so, you should subscribe as well. That way you can participate in the chat. And you can also become a member. And in the process of subscribing or becoming a member, if you're doing both, make sure you hit that notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded or premiering like this video. So actually, this is not a premiere, but this is another tape delay. So, with that being said, hopefully everybody is doing well this evening. We are changing up format on this channel so we could get more content out to you, and I hope you guys are enjoying the shorter form videos that we are doing right now. So hopefully that is working for you. And as changes to this channel happen, Um, I hope that you guys give me your feedback. Let me know what you guys think. Just looking at the layout, because for the longest time, I really have not put a lot of attention on following the algorithm versus making sure I got the message out I wanted to get out. And with that being said, that has already done so in different mediums and different capacities. So, with that being said, want to make sure that the content on this particular platform um, gets, a lot more the attention it deserves. I think, and I would believe some of you probably agree. Um, and so I think also as much as I love doing two lives a week, I think this allows me to do again, like I said, more more content, more pointed, on one topic stories. And and I like doing that as well. So we will be doing the live once a week. Um, and I will continue to update you on how things are morphing into what they will become. But we still do what we do here. I am just trying to make sure I actually get to cover everything that I'm trying to cover because there are some stories that never get done, and there's a lot of things and information out there that I believe can get covered. And from my end of things, uh, cutting one live a week allows me to make sure I can get more of that information to you. So, once again, thank you all for who have already subscribed to this channel and have been down with this channel. Happy New Black Media Month to you. As at the time of this, me recording this is the last day of New Black Media Month. When you are, well, besides my members, when you are hearing or seeing this video, it will be May 1st. And so that will be Happy May 1st for those of you who are seeing this. But to my members, um, Happy New Black Media Appreciation Month. And salute to all of y'all. And salute to everybody in the Black media sphere, which is not just the advocacy part of it, but also if you are noticing, there are Black content creators that are covering multiple spaces. So, for your leisure to your home and garden, to your kitchen, down to real estate, Just take advantage of the things that are being afforded to you by your people now, because these are things that we didn't have hands able to put our hands on 10 years ago, and we do now. So let's make sure going forward we take advantage of the family being part, having businesses, and we can partake and circulate our dollars that way. With that being said, getting into the topic at hand, as you just heard me put my glasses back on, Joe Biden pays an OnlyFans model to pander to his base, which is, of course, us. For those of you who probably already seen the weekly wrap up, the topic of the weekly wrap up, this is something that's absolutely different. Well, it's not, but it's in conjunction with what we'll be talking about Friday. But this part here, I wanted to just give specific attention because this is a very interesting story that I think subsequently is going to get fire and catch wind as things are happening. But we came across this video the other day, just on my timeline, and this woman is basically confirming what you heard old beatzillapdx official tell you right here on this platform before. The Democratic Party is employing TikTok shills. Now, in the process of understanding that they were employing TikTok shills, they're also alluding to the existence of grassroots COINTELPRO. And family, that is the whole point for having a new black media. We tell you what's happening before it happens because we can forecast what's going on because we are well educated on our adversary. You understand what I'm saying? We know who our enemy is. So we have to be wise. You can be harmless as doves and sheep, but there's no harm in being as wise as a serpent. And in this case, let them confirm to you that you heard what was going on right here on the Beatzilla PDX official show. And she's telling you how they're coming at these folks on TikTok.
I started TikTok like the spring semester of my senior year, and I was like, fuck, I finally have to start applying for law school. And then, like, female privilege, life is so easy for a, woman. Obviously, I lucked out. I'm just kidding. I lucked out. And then, TikTok was basically full time for me. I think I was taking ads by the time I graduated college from like the Biden administration and Planned Parenthood and like dating apps and stuff. So it was like fully financially, sustaining
So you were
me.
getting the Biden administration was buying ads from you?
Yeah, I was doing full on political propaganda.
And they would really with like what kind of like Biden created 10 million jobs this year.
Yeah, honestly. And the funny thing is they're like, do not disclose this is an ad because, they're like, technically it's not a product. So you don't have to disclose it's an ad. Because I think they just wanted like some edgy girl of color to just tell people like when they nominated like Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're like, can you say like as a person of color, that you feel reflected? And it's like a white woman emailing this to me, and she's like giving me this script, and I'm like, no. And she's like, please. And I'm like, no, I'll like talk about the news of it, but I'm not gonna have a white person tell me to be like, this is how I feel as a person of color. Like, it's just so, I think that blackpilled me slightly on like, political propaganda
So
stuff.
the Biden administration sees, here's this young,
yeah, I mean, they use like a conduit. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not Biden, but it's like a third party. You know what I mean? It's like a media company that's doing it on his behalf. I'm not blaming him for this.
Yeah. And the message is like, because you're a dark-skinned woman, you will be inspired by Ketanji Brown Jackson and all the kids should support her.
Yeah, they're like, basically as like another black person, just say that like you feel reflected by Ketanji. I'm like, no, I'll talk about like Ketanji's background and her accomplishments, but like I never, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna say like the corny stuff. Even if it was a brown person emailing it to me, I'm like, no, that's not like how I feel. Like I don't look at like Ketanji and feel like, wow.
Yeah, yeah. See, yeah.
And remember, Remember when I told you about that jam woman? Remember all of those people who were trying to get in? They were funded to interrupt, disrupt, infiltrate the reparations movement. Some people can say, I am not. The beatzillapdx official show is not saying I'm just being responsible in the journalism side of the game. And some things that you are hearing out here is that some of these protests you seeing right now, like the goings on at Portland State University right now, to where they're shut down, Columbia University, USC, on all of these schools, which subsequently seem to have coordinated takeovers, are Soros funded. Interesting thing about that, though, is we're not hearing the exact same noise about, well, why aren't the police being tougher on crime? These left cities and the leftists and this, that, and the other. They're not screaming for police to go through and knock heads. The usual suspects. Talking about Black Lives Matter and Antifa types. No, no, no. But what we do have is the usual quiet sector saying, go in there and F them up. So these are the things we have to understand. Wow, you have funding partners. And this woman, if you didn't hear what she said she felt like she got black pill. Yeah, black pill. So not red pill, but black pill. And yeah, because there is actual some articles that came out on it. So I want to just go through some things that she actually says in this interview. Um, yeah, see, internet personality and OnlyFans performer Farah Khalidi stated during the podcast she was, quote, black pilled after making, quote, political propaganda ads on TikTok for the Biden administration. Khalidi and other ex-Muslim OnlyFans performer Jasmine Jafar joined political science researcher and commentator Richard Hananiah on his podcast to discuss her introduction of making money online through TikTok. Now, this is an OnlyFans woman, but they hit her up to be an influence on TikTok. Why do you think they targeted TikTok then? It's the same reason they're targeting TikTok now. And so I hope you guys understand the agenda. Once again, like I said, at the taping of this broadcast right now, it is the last day of New Black Media Appreciation Month. As our good brother Professor Black Truth always mentions, and I say it often, because again, and I've said it in spaces time and time again, it is not just about us behind the mic. This is about you. This is about all of us. All pieces, all bolts, all nuts, all screws, all threading that goes along with making this machine work, that is our empowerment. All matters. All is important. So if you don't feel that you are getting the shine or attention, make sure that you are still understanding your part of the thing. It might not be the glamorous position. It may not be the position where everybody knows your name. But why are you doing this? This is the movement of empowerment, whether someone is paying attention to what you're doing or not. This is something that and this is something me personally, I never get into. I don't state up on you know why I never worry about telling people what I've done or what I do or what I'm doing is because I'm not done yet. And I have not achieved what in my soul I feel needs to be done. Yes, I have a whole lot of accomplishments under my belt. I may have awards or plaques for those. But what difference does that make if my folks are still not where we need to be? Individual success is cool, but this group success that's on my spirit, that's what I live and breathe on a daily basis. I know a lot of people may say they do, and only time will tell. And with that being said, remember, this is a marathon. This is no sprint. This thing been going on for a minute, and we stand on the shoulders of greats as well. Now, remember, one thing about that, because people get tied into going backwards and staying stuck on what uh, a person's philosophy was. Your duty is to build on what was done by those whose shoulders you stand on and take it further so then you further pass the torch. This is not about stagnation. This is about moving forward, not looking behind. So for those of you who have been in this 10 toes down. I applaud all of you. And again, salute to all of you, the Black grassroots, um, all the voices of New Black Media, and now all the different supporters of these voices. I just applaud all of you and salute to y'all in a big B1. And so this is also remember that there's another group that I think they got $100 million or something like that. To that they're a they're not technically a democratic organization. So this is what she's talking about, that third party thing. So how they're telling you what they'll do is go around the law and laws to promote themselves. So that's why they're getting, and they'll get grants. So mind you, they'll get grants to fund this from the American people, but then be like, oh, well, it's not actually a product. Let me see. Let me go down here real quick. Oh, you see, here's the one thing. Um, One thing she claimed of making money from the Biden administration, to which the social media personality admitted she was making political propaganda ads. As an example, Khalidi was asked to promote then Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson as a brown person after her nomination to the High Court by President Biden. Mm. Now, what does that say? We want you to make sure that this guy, promote this woman, make her likable to these people. Not that she's ever done anything for us. So again, that's not why she's there. This is evidence that this is why she's there. She don't serve a purpose for Black America. She serves a purpose for the Democratic Party and that regime who's funding them, whoever those powers are. Quote, so you were getting the Biden administration was so you were getting the Biden administration was buying ads from you? That's what the host asked. And she replies, yeah, I was doing full on political propaganda. Think about what you hear right now, ladies and gentlemen, when they talk about Kamala Harris. He actually he nominated the first Black vice president. She's not Black. She's a Caucasian. She's a Caucasian Jamaican. One thing she's not is Black. Mind you, this woman, see what they're doing right here? Why do you think they picked her? Aside from the fact that they do not absolutely want to fund any black media organization whatsoever, not even the bootlicks like Roland Martin. Now, I mean, but this is what this is saying to you. They will spend money and throw. They put this woman through college, law school. She had to make a financial decision to say, well, hell, I got to do this TikTok thing full time. This takes a person who would be an attorney and turns her into a social media star. Are y'all hearing me? This is where the Biden administration and the people that they're giving money to and the people who get this raised money, this is how they spend it. To do what now? This is not black outreach. This is black targeting to make sure you don't give black folks anything. Not even going to the bootlicks like the Griot or Roland Martin. What does that say? You know, it makes me think. This is literally how Joe Biden thinks, ladies and gentlemen.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
I mean, full on propaganda, and they will put non black folks through college. They won't even give this money to their bootlicks. Are you understanding the level of anti blackness from the Joe Biden administration? What could we possibly be misinformed about? With that right there, what on earth could we ever possibly be misinformed about? I mean, people have to keep it real, keep it 1,000. You're far away from ever being able to substantiate giving a crap about black folks. This is this is to the extent to say, let's get this woman and let's tell her to play on the person of color thing. And not just wanted to play on the person of color, but they're taking it a step further and then say, yeah, say you see yourself in her. You feel represented. Y'all understand what they doing? Now, look at that woman on your screen. She's gonna okay. Where is she supposed to feel represented by Ketanji Brown Jackson? I'm just saying. Where? This is the stuff they push on us, man. This ain't cool. This is horrible. And it should be rejected at every given turn because this right here is ridiculously disrespectful. Let me go get this one. If you, hey, you know what you could really do? If you could play up your ethnicity, like you being ethnic and all, let me go read, get a little more of this. Yeah, and this is her talking. Yeah, honestly, the funny thing is, is they're like, do not disclose this and as an ad. So see what they wanted her to do is like you see these other people when they come out talking crap and talking down to black folks. I hope you all understand. Where do you think that also came from? Now, mind you, this is a white woman who was telling her this, and a white woman that wants her to make some kind of false association between her and Ketanji Brown Jackson. Are y'all seeing that? So they want her to promote Ketanji Brown Jackson to black folks and say, well, hey, you know, say that you feel represented by her. So let me go into what she's saying here. So they told her not to disclose because they were like, technically, it's not a product, so you don't have to disclose it as an ad. Because I think they just wanted like some edgy girl of color to just tell people, like when they nominated Ketanji Brown Jackson, they're like, can you say as a person of color, you know that you feel reflected? And then she goes on to say, it's like a white woman emailing this and and she's giving me this script. Hmm. And I'm like, no. And she says, like, please. And I'm like, no, I'll talk about the news of it, but I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna have a white person tell me to be. I'm not gonna have a white person tell me to be like, this is how I feel as a person of color. It's just so I think that's black. I think, oh, she says, I think that black pilled me slightly on political propaganda. Oh, you think? While Khalidi later clarified the Biden administration was using conduit through a third party media company, Hananiah called out the message which was sent to viewers through the ad. Um, so, excuse me. So the Biden administration sees, oh, here, this young dark skin. I mean, like they use a conduit. It's kind of like, you know, you know what I mean? It's not Biden, but it's like a third party. You know what I mean? It's like a media company that's doing it on his behalf. I'm not blaming him for this, she says. Yeah, you should though, because he's the president. So he knows what they're doing. It don't think he don't. That's irresponsible. Yeah, that's irresponsible. Um, Yeah, they're basically saying, as like another black person, as another black person, can you just say that you feel reflected by Ketanji? But as you see, this woman is clearly not black. But they want her to say, as like another black person, as like another black person. Oh, you mean like Kamala? See how they're already. This is how you should know that they are well aware Kamala Harris is Caucasian, because they're asking this woman to as like another black person, like Emmanuel Acho, like so many of these other tethers out here do. They wanted her to tether. Are you hearing me? They literally wanted this woman to tether. This is Democratic funded tethering, family. Now, do you understand why they're so upset at our delineation? They are paying buku bucks to tether. And they ain't even getting anybody even from the motherland. You got this woman here. It, if you can't see the anti-blackness in all of this, I don't know what you need to see. And this is coming from the Democrats, man. Man, if you bitch with them Republicans, do you understand the level of insult this is? This is somebody who hates your guts, but know that you are a useful pawn. And if you are a black person trying to lead your family to the slaughter, to be pawns for the slaughter, you are absolutely as wicked as any Klansman. Don't ever look at yourself in the face and think nothing less. You hate black folks just as much as they do. So after saying that that you feel reflected by Ketanji, I'm like, no, I'll talk about Ketanji's background and her accomplishments. But you know what I mean? I'm not gonna say like the corny stuff, even if it was a brown person emailing it to me. Now it says since the 2021 inauguration, the Biden administration has engaged influencers to promote the White House's messaging as well as that of the campaign. Prior to the 2024 State of the Union address, uh, Biden invited dozens of social media creators to the White House in order to brief them on his message beforehand, according to Wired. Now, remember, in that State of the Union address, Joe Biden did not mention black people at all. At all. Never forget that, ladies and gentlemen. At all. Okay? So we're clear on that part. Joe Biden just was like, yeah, damn it. Well, some online influencers, however, are beginning to call out Biden following his support and signing of legislation which included provisions to potentially ban TikTok in the United States. And the recently signed law gives TikTok CCP linked parent company ByteDance roughly 9 months to sell the platform in order to continue operating in the country. Lawmakers have rallied behind stricter restrictions on the platform's owners, as reports alleged that U.S. based TikTok executives were complicit in handing over American user data to China. TikTok, however, has denied the allegations. And that's the end of that article. But I wanted to point out something that, see, they're going out of their way to pay non-black people to pander to black people. How much more would you need to know that they would get the first Indian Caucasian vice president and call her black? They wanted this. This is a white woman who is telling this ethnic woman to just identify as black, knowing she's not. So when you start seeing this flat blackness conversation, think of what she said. Did that come from another black person? No, it did not. Benign neglect is the policy of the Democratic Party. So that tells you this type of calling people black when they're not, flat blackness when they're not, tethering when they're not us. Those are tools of white supremacy. Yeah, and that's why we say Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Family, we have to rid these demons from out our midst that act like they cannot understand the nature of this wicked beast and enemy that we deal with its crafty tricks and tricks of the trade that have lasted so many aeons. Well, this right here, once again, is living proof this week that this party that everybody says, well, man, them other folks get in the office. Tell me this. Why would this group right here? This is New Black Media Appreciation Month, and we are bringing to you evidence of the TikTok Pander Club. And they'll fund these people to sell us something. Think of Good Times, Latino behind it. All these other get your booty to the pole, another immigrant. At the end of the day, you have to pay attention to who's behind what. See who's tied to who. But at the end of the day, this is why people are choosing a different alternative. Because when you show your disdain for your base in such a fashion, after giving, and these are the things that come out after we recognize all of the money that has been given to Ukraine and all the money that's been given to Israel and whatnot. That's a lot of money. Well, now with that, man, don't look to us for no support. We don't support any of those conflicts that you causing and that you're using to perpetually ignore the needs of Black empowerment and the debt that is owed to Black folks in America. This is full blown anti-Blackness on a grand scheme. And I hope that you Democratic folks can understand why Black America right now is saying no tangibles, no vote, no Black agenda, no vote. Why? Because you believe Ukraine needs $60 billion. And we believe Ukraine is not our responsibility. We are not at an impasse, or we're not at a meeting of the minds. Matter of fact, we're at the total opposite. So for those of us who are really, and we're registered voters, we'll be voting on the local end of things. But as it comes down to that position of who gets chosen in the first place, just remember that this guy would rather pay non-Black people to pander to Black people as Black people. That's the level of disdain that he has. So Michael Eric Dyson, remember one thing. When you got a man that would do that type of thing right there, this is not a joke.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't Black.
Most definitely is not about swag. So for you Biden sexuals who stay on the corner and stay screaming that line, you go right on ahead.
And I'm telling you, as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep for good.
And so for those of you who believe that this is nothing and this is lightweight and that they're not actually doing things like this, well, I'm going to speak for myself, beatzillapdx official. The beatzillapdx official show, those of you in the chat and the voices of, and the grassroots and the voices of New Black Media, I'm safe to say that we can proudly dedicate this song to all of you brain dead, boot licking Biden sexuals continuously ignoring this man's anti-Blackness. This is for you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, this has just been a good old news break. Of course, this is the midweek report that you are getting right now. And you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to put some money in the bucket, you can do so by way of Cash App, that's $beatzillapdx. That's Cash App, $beatzillapdx. We also have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And so, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. And, since we are doing the midweek thing, we'll go ahead and send it out the right way. I hope you guys are liking the changes to this broadcast. Some things will stay familiar, but you will have a lot more shorter videos and one less live. But I hope you guys understand why the changes are being made, and I hope you guys enjoy them. So again, thank you all for who has all been down. Thank you to all of my members, subscribers, and even the haters too, because some people be hate watching. And shout out to the replay gang. Big black first to all of y'all. I always appreciate the replay gangs. Hey, make sure you let it be known in the comment section, replay gang. I appreciate y'all as well. So until the next video, family, y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Have a great evening.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes. Right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.